Okay, my name is Dan, founder of Haddee Education. Today, we're inviting Coach Liam to talk about his class and elementary discrete math. So, Liam, do you want to take a few minutes to introduce yourself, and then I ask you some questions, and we go from there? Okay?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Liam. I am a senior at UC Berkeley. I studied computer science and pure math. I've had a lot of experience in teaching math as well as computer science, and I'll be teaching the elementary discrete math class this fall session.
So, discrete math is a college level math course. I know we ask you to teach a class, and you choose to teach elementary discrete math. Why?
So discrete math is like the first interesting college level class that students usually take as a math or computer science major. Um, but So that was the reason sort of why. And discrete math is a class where people have to learn to think creatively. It's sort of the first class where students cannot just like use rote memorization of formulas or rote pattern matching to actually solve problems. Students actually have to think logically and be creative about how they solve problems. And these like skills are not things that require knowledge of calculus or knowledge of advanced algebra. So I think I wanted to teach a discrete math class because I wanted to sort of teach those skills of creativity and problem solving and logic without having to have the prerequisites that maybe a high school graduate might need. So discrete math doesn't really use any of these same techniques. It's like a very different field of math, and it actually can be taught to younger students. A lot of competition math is actually from discrete math, like combinatorics, especially with number theory. So I think this is a very accessible thing. The only difference is between this class and its college class is I would have to choose problems that are maybe more fit to the student's level, as well as choose problems that don't require advanced usage of calculus, for example.
That's very interesting. So they're not overlapping, because there's no point for you to teach an enhancement or extracurricular program, which is already taught in the high school or middle school. So
No.
yeah, it's not repeating, right?
You will not find like a middle school or high school that teaches discrete math. So maybe in a very, very special case, high school might teach it to high school seniors as a special topics class, but in general, no, this is not overlapping with any class like algebra, geometry, trigonometry, or calculus. It's not something you'll find in typical middle or high school.
Okay, that's very good. Maybe I want to take that class as well. Interesting. Okay, so the question for the parents here, they want to ask is what's a prerequisite? So in your syllabus and in the material, we mentioned the minimum seventh grade. And
Yes.
do you want to kind of share the logic behind it? And if there's ninth grade or 10th grade, they coming in the same class, how would you handle that? Okay. Because to them, the seventh grade and ninth grade, they're all new, but they're different levels, different grades.
So the skills a high seventh grader like learns like between the skills a student will learn between seventh and ninth grade are primarily like algebra, geometry. These kind of
Mhm.
techniques we will not need in our class. So that doesn't exactly matter. The prerequisites for this class, typically I said seventh grade because the student should have a like, fairly good exposure to pre-algebra. So calculating with fractions, being able to do basic algebra options like solving for x, being able to do like arithmetic very, very like comfortably. These sort of things are things that we'll need, especially in combinatorics, where we're doing a lot of multiplying, possibly a lot of dividing, things that we need to do on the fly. Um, However, other techniques that students might learn in school, like about functions, like linear functions or graphing things, these sort of things we will not need. And so this class is completely appropriate for both seventh graders who are comfortable with pre-algebra and can solve all the questions on our diagnostic exam, as well as ninth graders who've already seen like material and linear functions, these kind of things we won't really need. So the bottom line is we need comfortable in just like arithmetic, being able to divide and be able to just solve our diagnostic exam completely.
Okay, that's very interesting. So I know you taught discrete math in the summer at UC Berkeley. I think the end of the freshman, the summer between the freshman and sophomore, and you have students that college students as well as high school students from Bay Area that taking the CS70, which is a discrete math. It's a very difficult course at UC Berkeley. So what about the 11th grade from Bay Area want to come and take your classes? And now you have a 7th grade and 11th grade. Will you be able to handle that? Or you think it's not proper? Go
So
ahead.
there's going to be a wide variety of different problems I'll be giving. Some problems may be more difficult, other problems may be more simple. And again,
Okay.
this
So,
is the
mhm.
the difference between a 7th grade and 11th grade is primarily comfortability with the school curriculum. And here the school curriculum is completely irrelevant and different. Maybe the 11th grader might be processing the information and learning things a bit faster, but I'll be providing sufficient like variety of difficulty of questions such that both the 7th grader and the 11th grader can have something to learn.
Okay.
The key thing in our class will be about problem solving, and that is something that the student will primarily like learn from doing problems.
Okay, very, very interesting. So in your video sharing, we share the video, you talk about the class. You said you want to make the class it's a lot of fun. So talk to me about it, like how you're going to make the class fun. Because you had an experience, we talk about it, that in middle school you walked into the math league and you walked out and you never attended any competition math during middle school and high school. But now you're so interested in math, you're even giving up computer science to pursue PhD in theoretic math. So, I mean, what if a student coming in and they get burned into a class and they're not interested in math anymore? So it's just a much younger you, and showed up in your class. How are you going to make the class fun?
So I think that primarily the thing is like we will have like this is gonna be a low pressure thing. A
Mhm.
competition math is a very high pressure. Students are competing to get a high score and qualify for the Amy or qualify for the USUMO, and if they can't do it, maybe they feel bad about themselves. But my class primarily is just about learning the content and not really about, need to score high on such exam. And once we like release the pressure, just ability to interact with certain different topics and different mathematical objects is like a can be very, very interesting thing. And a lot of the topics that we'll be discussing are things that students have never really seen before, um, such as like graphs, for instance. Graphs are like very interesting objects, have wide variety of uses in computer science, completely all like used in all the software we use today are all just made of graphs, Google Maps, all these kind of things. The ability to connect the objects that we learn in this class as well to the outside world, I think may be of interest as well. And just the ability to sort of engage with some content that has never really been seen before and content that no pressure that like if you don't completely understand, because again, this is can be advanced topics. So it's about like learning as much as you can, as well as interacting with objects that are much more interesting than the things you see in school.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. So now another question is that I'm not a math major. I don't know much about math. Okay, disclosure, right? So the thing is, I did a little bit of a GPT, a little bit of research, and sounds like I'm managing about volunteer lead about over 2,000 Berkeley parents, right? And when I mentioned about Coach Liam teaching discrete math, some of the parents laugh at me. they think we're going crazy to teach a college level class to middle school and high school students, right? But the thing is, a lot of students right now, even though computer science and the job market is a little bit challenging for computer science entry level, but still computer science and engineering, mechanical engineering, double E, still is very important. And I just like doing online research, I look at it, discrete math is really important to the CS and to the engineering um, requirements. So can you explain a little bit of why? Like it's a math course, but Berkeley made a CS requirements, basic requirements is a math course for the CS students to declare the major. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the math is also feeding into the engineering and why this is so important.
Okay. So discrete math is just a like an umbrella term for a number of like topics that have been of like use and interest to both mathematicians and computer scientists. So my class will be broken down into roughly three subjects. One is combinatorics, the next one is graph theory, and the last one is number theory. So I'll just for each one I'll give like an example of why Berkeley requires these like kind of topics to be taught for all computer science majors. So there's been a lot of discussion at Berkeley with the professors about specifically what should be included in this class. Everybody's fighting, like all the different like parts of the CS department are fighting to include their sort of interesting topic in this class to prepare them for more advanced computer science material. So for example, combinatorics is very related to probability. The combinatorics is just like the mathematics of counting things. How many ways can I do this? Or, you know, how many ways can I pick out of these things? And this is very related to probability. For instance, if I want to like, for a very toy example, describe poker and ask about how likely are these poker hands, I would count, how many ways can I get the poker hands? I want to divide that by how many ways, how many like total poker hands are there? And I can do some rough math to figure out the different probabilities of different situations. Probability is very, very important in all fields of computer science, biology, economics. So I think, like, for example, probability is the basis of machine learning. It's also the basis of most like communications, electrical engineering, because sometimes we model like communications and noise within channels as sending information. Sometimes things can get messed up, and we use probability to model that. So probability is essentially the fundamental of all electrical engineering, especially with signal systems, that kind of thing. And the next topic will be graph theory. So a graph is like a mathematical object. It consists of, different things called nodes. A node, you can just, for example, in this talk, we'll just call a node a person, and you can choose to connect different nodes. So I'm going to connect a person to another person. And say we will connect two people if they know each other, if they're friends. So I can like sort of draw all these things on the board, and I have this whole network and see who's friends with who, that kind of thing. And that's been very useful for actually understanding the Facebook algorithm for suggesting new friends. I can check, oh, how many friends are away from my friend? How many friends, how many mutuals do I have with people? That kind of thing. And I can essentially model most situations as graphs. In mathematics, we can actually also do this. But in computer science, like pretty much all these real world things, a map is definitely a graph. Like for example, I can make, instead of people, I can say a node is a location. And I can like draw a connection between two locations if I can get there by car. And now I can figure out how to use Google Maps to get from location to location. So graphs are very interesting objects, and these things are very heavily used in computer science algorithms. The last thing is number theory. So the number theory is a very interesting subject that was like developed in the 1800s. People thought it was very, very useless until some clever computer scientists in the 1900s and MIT developed something called the RSA algorithm. The RSA algorithm is essentially the number theory algorithm keeping all of us safe in online sort of communication. Number theory is extremely crucial to providing digital encryption. So what number theory is all like pretty much all about is about prime numbers. So if your students are taking the class, they'll have heard of prime numbers, but if not, a prime number is a number that has only divisors of one in itself. So for example, 6 is not a prime number because 2 times 3 equals 6. But 7 is, because I can't find any lower divisors besides 1 in itself. So it's all about very, very large prime numbers. And what we can use number theory for is we can encrypt things because, our computers are not able to, there are no like known efficient algorithms to find these prime numbers. So a lot of very, very clever computer scientists have taken this and devised algorithms all about number theory to actually secure your computer. So the reason you can send messages privately online, the reason your bank holds your money securely are all about number theory. So these are like three reasons why the computer science department at UC Berkeley enforces discrete math as a class that all computer science majors have to take. Because the number of ways that computer science can go is completely like, sprawls out from this first class. All these topics are, a sampler course of what you can do with theoretical computer science. And also, generally, this class gives students a very, very good mathematical background to do anything they want, as well as giving the students a logical background to be able to analyze different problems and come up with creative solutions. The discrete math homework in CS70, the homeworks are, CS70 is known to be a very, very difficult class. The homeworks are hard. It's the first class where students are really, really challenged. So I think that is why some of the parents may have thought this is like, a bit insane to teach middle schoolers a college level difficult class. However, again, our goals are going to be a bit different than what Berkeley's goals are. Berkeley's goals are to provide incredibly rigorous education for preparation for very, very advanced theoretical computer science. Here, we're trying to inspire students to learn math, get interested, as well as like have their first introduction to logic, problem solving, as well as thinking creatively. The next thing we also want to do is, teach them how to think about abstract objects. So, learning how to think about abstract ideas and ideas that aren't in like the real world are going to help them immensely with dealing with anything they come across.
Yeah, very good. So I learned some calculus in college. I learned a lot more, but I give back at graduate school as an econ major. So you, can I learn this as well, you think?
Yeah, as long as you can solve the diagnostics, then you can learn this.
Okay, okay, very interesting. Okay, so now talking about pre-assessment, right? So, and share a little bit of why you came up with that list and why you limit the number of minutes. And so go ahead about the pre-assessment.
So in the list, I provided, a few questions for each kind of thing. Ones I asked about divisors, like prime numbers. I asked about just doing simple calculations. I also asked about just doing simple algebra. And then I provided sort of a time limit on how fast students should be doing it. So these are not sort of like meant to be a challenge. The reason I provided time limit is because I want to make sure the student is very, very fluent in doing all of these operations. Because I do not want like the blocker or the place where students get stuck to be on these sort of things. The idea of this class is to have students use these things as tools, be fluent to them, so we can learn more interesting ideas and abstract topics. So this should be like, the students should think of this as a very, very bare minimum of being able to do the class. Because, for example, combinatorics, we're going to be doing calculations all the time. Students should be able to like calculate with fractions very quickly. Students should be able to, multiply things, do exponents. These things are all just basic objects that we use as a language to discuss the ideas. So if you cannot speak this sort of language, then it's going to be hard to understand the more complicated ideas that we're using this language to express.
Very good. So some of the question, I can even do it. I'm like, okay, this seems simple. So basically that we wanted the parents to know that this is just a prerequisite. And the class taught will be much more advanced than the pre-assessment, right?
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
the class will require more advanced thinking than just computing this. I will not like the focus of the class is not about doing these computations that I've assigned on the prerequisite. These things are just
Okay.
necessary things that students have to use to do in the everyday computations and problems that will be assigned it.
Okay, very good. And also, you also mentioned that you will have the quiz on the each session on the regular basis. We have 12 sessions, right? And the 3 hours, and of course there will be maybe 5 minutes and 10 minutes bathroom break, and the kids cannot think 3 hours straight. That's fine. But you have a quiz, and also you have a midterm and a final. I'm talking about why you having quiz, like.
So the quizzes aren't for like a judgment or giving them a grade. It's just a project progress check to see if, how did the students understand this? What can the student learn about this more and how can the student improve? Is
Okay,
the midterm is just a longer term progress check is, how is the student doing so far? What have they learned? As well as, what can they improve? And I'll be getting feedback and grading these on the regular as well. The final exam is just for both the students and the parents to just see, how did the student do in the class? What can the student improve and that kind of thing. It's like
Okay.
not meant to be a low pressure, but also just to give a student sort of a little bit more incentive to, focus in class as well as check their progress.
Okay, that's very good. Yeah. So there's also a learning method, and I've been studying like how like really to learn things fast. And one of the learning method is taking exams. Even though we hate exams, and that's why one of the reasons why exam system is being created is if you learn once and then you take exam, you learn faster than you keep learning the same thing. And I've been doing, listening to quite a few podcasts on that theory. So that's why, one of the reasons Coach Liam and us come together that we need to have quiz, even though it does create more work for everybody. And, sometimes like the balance of for the kids say, hey, I didn't do well. So Liam, you need to manage if the kids don't do well. There's also emotional support, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You
Okay. As a
know,
teacher, it's very important.
Of course, it's very important, Managing the emotional side of learning is also just as important. The psychology of learning is very complex. And
Hmm.
in math is incredibly common to be very frustrated. Like, you feel very, very dumb all the time. Even, at the professor level, PhD level, is nobody. This is not an easy thing. So, this is a sort of thing students and I will be going through to learning how to manage this kind of thing and learning how to just keep moving forward and enjoying it, even if it's difficult.
Okay, very good, very good. Okay. Then, if the students do well and they really enjoy it and they want to learn more advanced, and you any possibility for you to offer the next level, middle level of the discrete math for
Yeah,
high school, middle school
there are going to be
students.
opportunities. I'll be teaching further level classes if students are interested. This class can branch in many different ways. It can branch in probability, number theory, and yeah, I I have the ability to be teaching another class if there's enough interest.
Okay, very good, very good. Okay, so in terms of logistics, the class will be held in person. We have a Berkeley Center right in the South Berkeley, not South, West side, so between downtown, very close to downtown and UC Berkeley. And downtown and UC Berkeley basically are kind of merged together. It's very safe location and very nice building. It's in historical building, and we put the address there. You guys can Google it. A lot of restaurants, a lot of flowers there. Nice place, and the Sunday parking is free. However, if students want to log in or they're far away, they don't want to come here, and they can join online as well, right, Liam? They
Yes,
can.
you can join.
Okay.
It'll be a
Yeah.
high format.
Okay, very good. I think we had a good about 30 minutes or 25 minutes sharing from you. And anything else you want to add to the parents here? It's a recording, so we'll send it out. Some parents who cannot make it. Go ahead.
Oh,
Anything to add?
I just think that this class is appropriate for all age levels between seventh grade as well as high schoolers too. I want to make this a very interesting class where students learn things that they have not seen before. There are going to be a few logistic things like a bit of homework and some quizzes and exams, but it's not going to be too much. The main focus of the class is just in-person problem solving as well as and detailed and good mentorship. The
Very
class size
good.
can be kept pretty
Mhm.
small.
Yeah, obviously, class size is pretty small, right? So most of the students they want to invest in math, they go to the competition, and we do not want to do the competition here because there's too many programs are offering competition. Okay, very good, and the stress level there as well. So regarding the homework, can you share a little bit of how much time on average a student need to spend outside the 3 hour? I think a 3 hour learning is pretty intensive.
Yes. So usually the homework will not be more than an hour. It's definitely not more than an hour. I just gonna be like a few problems just to test things that or just, to get more practice from concepts that we weren't able to do with in class.
Good, because their own primary job is
Yeah.
schoolwork. Okay.
Primary job is school. I will definitely not make it an hour. Definitely not making more than an hour and likely much shorter.
Okay, very good. I think 3 hours is very intensive learning.
Yes.
So basically also learning, usually the disrupted learning and maximum is about 90 minutes. So that's why we encourage that, each 90 minutes they take a little break in between. But Liam, you may want to be aware of maybe you can take a little very short break for 10 breaths in between. Like, okay, just take a deep breath and, every 30 minutes, 10 seconds or 15 seconds. I think that will be very helpful to everybody as well. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, I understand.
Yeah, it's very important. Okay, very good. Okay, anything else we need to add that parents might ask us?
I think we covered pretty much all of it.
Yeah, so
You
if
can
you want to
find
drop the kid, yeah, go ahead. Mhm.
you can find more information in the syllabus as well. The syllabus will also have detailed information about the course.
Yeah, so right now I know you required it's like 8 past 10, and then later on you change, you said 10 past 10. What's your like the rule for the passing?
The rule of the passing,
Yeah, for you
uh,
to admit, yeah, it's 8 or 10.
it's gonna be 10, but I'll be grading it. If there's some mistake that I think is like they understand how to do it, but they just forgot a negative or something, then I think it's fine.
Okay, yeah.
Generally, the reason I want near perfect score or perfect score is because they should be comfortable. Should not be a struggle to do these problems.
Okay, that's fine. So 10 out of 10, and then we'll grade it in each exam. So let me send out very quickly the exam so people don't have any question. What kind of know what we are talking about it. I'm gonna go to here. I'm gonna share very quickly, okay? Okay, so you go on Haddee.com on the mobiles, doesn't matter, m.haddee.com, it's all Haddee.com. You type Liam, the course come Elementary Discrete Math. And then you will see the class information. That was the introduction video. We'll put a Q&A video there. And this is the diagnostics. So for me to take your class, I need to pass that exam. Probably not. Yeah. Okay, so this is the one your student need to pass.
Yes, this is
So
precisely.
yeah. So our process is very simple. You pass, and then also the cost here is, let me take a look at, it's all written here. So to get that out of the way first, okay? Student need to pass, and in terms of logistics, if you are in the Bay Area, like, the East Bay, 40 minutes drive, I think it's worth it, okay? To come in person, just to experience Berkeley, it's nice, and be interact with Coach Lim in person. But online is okay, if no problem. So those are the overview all here, and then program cost is here.
Yeah,
It's
so like I recommend in person, after class you can take your student to go get like, boba or ice cream. There's a lot of nice boba and, sweet shops for the student to enjoy as a treat.
Exactly. It's a very nice area. Okay. So, and parking free on Sunday on the street, unlimited, don't have to worry. And then this is the cost for 12 sessions, 36 hours. And all the details are here. One more. Yeah. And let me see what other thing. Yeah. That, yeah. So this is the introduction all here. So if you guys need, this is you open on the mobile. And then let me see. Yeah, we just have, if you're on the computer, it's the same thing. It's just when we build the software, we didn't think about the mobile version. I'll give you the PC version of it. Yeah, it's all the same. Okay, the process, you pass exam, then on the diagnostic, we have information for you to fill. Parent name and email address, very important. We're gonna just send you an agreement. And you can, very simple agreement, there's a waiver, because if student coming in person, any in-person class need to sign a waiver, okay? And then you sign it and you zell us the money, and then you're enrolled, okay? So, and we'll have the class, either one person or two students, it doesn't matter. And Coach Liam will teach it. It's going to be really nice, a small group of classes. Usually we have the summer program, the AI summer program at UC Berkeley. And literally, I cannot believe it. We're starting this weekend. Literally, some students like want to join. Luckily, the students want to join as a commuter. So we don't have to deal with UC Berkeley housing for the commuter. So she joined the very, very last minute. A lot of parents waiting until last minute. I don't advise you wait for last minute. It could be sold out. I think we're gonna cap at 6 students, 12 students at most. But at this point, it very likely will be under less than 12. And the other part of it, if there are a little bit more students, like above 6 or 12, if your student does really well, and then later on, Coach Liam starts the same class, and if your students wants to be a TA, and that's a very good volunteering opportunities. And that's for both my kids. They were learning computer programming in the middle school, and then going through high school, and later on, they became the TA, teaching assistant, for the same program for younger students. I think learning how to, not only learning how to teach and tutor or TA is a very, very good skill for really high school students. And it's a skill that top colleges is really looking forward to. Give you an anecdote. I met a medical school student at Chicago during the trip 2 weeks ago. She was enrolled at University of Michigan medical school, top medical school. Then I asked her, I'm like, you must be a 4.0 student. She laughed. She said, everybody is a 4.0 going to medical school. Then everybody has some kind of volunteer leadership and science tutoring experience. So medical school treats science tutoring like bio, math, physics, as a key project, because if you learn how to tutor and TA, you are more empathetic, you can connect with people, because medical school students are connecting with people, right? The doctors, it's not really just the machine. So I personally, we gone through a lot of college, counseling students in Haddee, and we really understand some students do really well because they're one of the key activities, tutor and TA as volunteer. So I just want to let you know, this might be open up very good opportunity if your students later on is really interested and want to learn more advanced with Coach Liam next level, but can also spend 3 hours a week and doing tutoring, or doing TA assistant. That'll be very, very good. Okay. So I'm gonna stop here. And oh wow,
Looks like there's a lot more people. You want to take more questions?
yeah. I think, did we get this time wrong? I thought it was 6 o'clock. Yeah. So anybody has questions? Do you guys maybe I ask in Chinese? 你们有什么问题吗？
Oh, hi, this is Helen. Sorry, I missed the first part of the meeting. I just want to ask if we want to attend online, is that okay, or does that need to be in person?
yeah. Liam?
It's okay. It'll be hybrid.
Yeah, it's gonna be hybrid.
Okay.
Yeah, so students want to come in person, they can come in person. So you want to join in online, and we'll set up and for students to learn online, no problem. Yeah.
Okay, what's the time of this class?
It's 1:30 to 4:30 every Sunday, starting the last week of August before Labor's Day. So the schedule is very clear, and let me see. I'm just gonna show here. And I put the link there. Yeah, the schedule is we didn't put the schedule there.
It's goable. It's there. It's there. Scroll down a little bit.
Yeah.
There,
Oh,
right
here. Yeah. So Sunday, starting August 24th, and we want to finish before Thanksgiving.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, no class. And so this is the key. The cost is here. So parents, you're in charge of the budget. Once the budget's okay, the time is okay. The most important, the student need to pass the exam. And this diagnostic, is you need finish within 15 minutes. We honor all students, no problem, and has to be 100% correct for the student to be admitted. Yeah. So we and Coach Liam will grade each class. He said if somebody just made a very silly mistake, he will pass. But the rule is 10 out of 10. And once we pass, we will send, it's all through online. We send a DocuSign and a waiver, because there's in-person component of it. So all parents need to sign a waiver. Doesn't matter online, but you can click online and in person. Once you sign it, you have a few days to pay. Everything has to be paid upfront, and there's no cancellation, no like, okay, I changed my mind. We don't, yeah, it's just like summer camp, you know, all school, we have summer camp, we come in, unless there's a, we have a refund policy, unless like a COVID emergency, etc., that we allow refund, okay? And then recording, Liam, if you are doing online, are you comfortable in recording or,
Yeah.
or in no need? Okay, we can
Yeah,
record, right?
the students who cannot show up or are sick.
Yeah, for students who really cannot show up, but we don't really advise unless there's a really emergency. So we'll send the recording just to the students who missed the class. We don't want to go the recording online, going everywhere, but we'll all sort it out. And just for Helen, we'll have the homework. You're going to watch the recording of right now what Coach Liam just shared, the first 25 minutes, and it's very detailed. And then you will, what's called the homework. It's about learning. It's about 3 hours. And then in class session, students will take some small break, and we, you know, a few minutes, a couple minutes here and there. A very small, maybe 10, 15 seconds, take a deep breath. It's very important every 30 minutes. And then 90 minutes in between, we have a bathroom break, 5 to 10 minutes, and just to relax and for the brain to be recharged. It will be a quiz because learning is really more effective if students are being tested. So Coach Liam will give the quiz. For homework, it's about a lesson an hour. And he already explained everything in a lot of mathematical terms and will make the class very fun and very interesting. So Helen, hopefully we answer your question.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So last question is that this class is called Elementary Discrete Math. And is this suitable for a middle school student?
Yes,
Because
provided
it's called elementary, and I would think it's kind of like matched to the elementary school, or still suitable for the middle school.
definitely suitable for middle school. Elementary in this case just means because discrete math is a college course, so making this
Oh, I
class
see. I
suitable for
see.
middle school and high school students.
Okay, great. Thank you so for your explanation.
That's very good, Helen. Actually, when I put the elementary discrete math into the GPT, it translates into 小学.
Yeah.
And I have to change the translation into 启蒙.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because Berkeley parents laugh at me. Berkeley parents think I'm going banana to teach a very rigorous college class to middle school and high school kids, you know. So
Thank you.
yeah, very interesting. Okay, very good. Any other questions? Okay. So I think Helen and another parent who joined late will send out the recording, okay? And you watch the recording, and once we receive your students' test, and we'll go from there. But all the information are there, and we send you the detail. If you guys are on WeChat, I think if you're not, you can always connect me in person, and I'll put you in the group. But if you guys, yeah, we you know, I don't need to explain Haddee education. We mainly do college counseling, but we're going to have a center at UC Berkeley, right next to Berkeley, and we're hosting a summer camp, AI summer camp at on site at UC Berkeley. So we have a lot of resources to support our students. One thing that I mentioned to all the parents here: if your students really like the program and they want to learn how to do a TA. iPhone 需要什么基础的? Yeah, I will answer. And if they want to later on, they want to become an assistant, and Coach Liam will decide which students are mature enough and they're advanced enough to be his assistant for the incoming classes, because we can repeat the classes, and we can also be more advanced classes, because Liam is going to pursue PhD in mathematics. He's very interested in teaching math. And then also for students who is interested in learning engineering and computer engineering, this discrete math, the thinking, the skills learned from this course will be very important. And it's not overlapping with any middle school and high school math curriculum. Okay, so so hopefully I answered the question, but 请问需要什么基础的? So I will ask Liam in English, then I can translate as well. So what's the prerequisite, Liam?
The prerequisite is mostly comfortable with pre-algebra and just a bit of understanding how to multiply numbers, how to take exponents, how to divide numbers, and also some very, very, very easy like things with prime numbers, just figuring out how to do that. Very easy understanding of algebra, like, can I move a few x's over? Can I solve for x in a very simple equation? That's the prerequisites. But
Okay.
it is best explained just by taking the diagnostic exam, and you'll see.
Yeah. So 最简单的，我发了一个链接，如果能够通过的就过来，通不过的就过不来，这就是个入学考试。所以我们为了避免沟通成本，就减少沟通成本，把这个事情讲得很清楚，我们就提供了一个考试链接啊。这个学生能考过就过来，要满分10分呀，15分钟的时间。啊，因为每个学校的这个数学，每个孩子学的数学的 level 是不一样的，7年级学生和9年级学生、10年级学生都可以来参加。因为这个 discrete math 离散数学的内容和初中和高中教的数学内容是完全不一样的，所以你们不会有重复的学习啊。但是这门课程是大学数学和理工计算机的基础课程，特别是人工智能的敲门砖。就是大学那个课程，所以逻辑思维是个非常重要的一个技能啊。我希望我回答了家长。OK, Any possible you offer the same class on Saturday? This is Joanna, this is challenging. I know. We at this point it will be Sunday because the parking. Okay, and if all the students are coming in, they cannot do Saturday. We can revisit. But at this point, it's Sunday. We already said we can't change it because one parent want a Saturday and then a parent want a Sunday, one want a Sunday morning, then we can't hold the class. That's the challenge of group classes. We understand. Yeah, maybe next time. And we also have a Sunday morning for the AI for hardware at the same center by Mr. Morrow. And we'll send the information later. But that's more hardware driven. That's not math. Okay. And if students interested in both, they can come hang out in Berkeley for the whole day on Sunday. Parking is free, okay? And sorry, Joanna. Yeah. Anything else? Okay. I think good. We got pretty much 50 minutes. So we're gonna call it a day, and the recording will be uploaded on our YouTube, and then I will send here one very quick question. Here, 1 second, okay? So here we're gonna do give me 1 second. You can see the YouTube. So, okay. Yeah, so I'm just making sure that you got the YouTube. If the parents miss it, they know where to find it. Okay.
Hello, this is Dian Dian. I'm the founder for.
Okay, so I'm sending the YouTube link and just look for the YouTube. Yeah, if you type in Haddee Education, we have a few Haddees because I started a different channel, but this is education. Haddee Education, there's a lot of videos, like over 500, 200 videos there, okay? Take a look at that one. Sounds good? Anything else? The YouTube. Okay, thank you, Coach Liam, for your nighttime. And thank all the parents being here. And we look forward to supporting your students. And I think we have a lot of fun. For parents who missed the first part, for sure to watch the YouTube. Liam explained very, very clearly his teaching method and also what the content is covered. Most important, the class will be fun. And I pretty much, your kid's gonna fall in love with math after the class. So that's great. Okay, thank you, Coach Liam. Thank you,
thank
all
you.
the parents.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye.